Good morning, Secrets of Top Selling Agents. I am still floating from Social Media Marketing World 2020 in sunny San Diego. First thing, the weather couldn't be any better. It was perfect. The networking on steroids. We did a meetup group for real estate professionals only, and we had 26 people show up. Phenomenal. So today I want to spend about 30 minutes with you, Q&A and recap from social media marketing world. If you have any questions, please type those questions in. However, you'll see that I made a post, stop selling, start serving. Don't do it the way other people do it. And then the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. When we take a look at the world of real estate, we're an industry with more women than men, and the average age of a realtor is 54. A lot of people did not embrace social media and technology when it first came out because they didn't believe in its abilities. It isn't going to go anywhere. So I need you to stop waiting. I need you to embrace it. Not only do I need you to embrace it, I need you to embrace video. Video from every speaker I listened to was still number one. But let's take it back a step. When we start thinking about our businesses, we have to set up SMART goals. What is a SMART goal? You have to be specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, and time bound. That should apply to your real estate business. That should apply to your marketing plan. That should apply to social media and technology. What you will see me do on occasion is look over at my notebook because I have 9 pages of notes to share with you. And sometimes I will look at my phone because I have taken screenshots of the different PowerPoint presentations. So we're going to start with SMART goals. We need to do research and a competitive analysis. So I understand who my competition is. You need to understand who your competition is, because what you're looking at are the things that they do well and they don't do well. But if they have an online presence, you can measure everything, including their ad spends on Google. So you want to understand if you're paying too much for your ad spend over on Google if you were to take a look at your competition, because so much of this information is publicly available. You want to take a look at your content marketing. You want to look at your conversion rates and your KPIs, which are your key performance indicators, okay? So that is the foundation of any social media and marketing plan. When we start thinking about this, a lot of people still should blog, but this was one thing that one of the speakers stated. He stated that to write a great blog post could take you easily 8 hours. A blog post, then you need to share it places in order to get links back to your website. I actually do a weekly blog post, but my blog post has a podcast and a video embedded. So I have 3 sources of content inside of one. He stated, quote unquote, it is easier to podcast than it is to write and promote a relevant blog post. What I will tell you, I've now been podcasting since January of 2019. By November of 2019, I was able to increase my speaking fees by 40%. Now, what I don't know, can I attribute that to blogging, which actually is me recording a video, breaking it down into a podcast, or is it to the book, or is it a combination of both? But single-handedly, me having a podcast and that podcast being embedded into the blog post and writing a book changed my financial landscape. However, due to the increase in income, it has paid for itself. Okay, so it was an investment last year. This year, I'm reaping the rewards. So once again, it is easier to podcast than it is to write and promote a relevant blog post. You might want to start thinking about a podcast. We did have the gentleman from Heroic Public Speaking. He has a phenomenal program. One thing that I'm going to do different, if you are a speaker, I am going to ask the room to come to the center. The reason that if you're ever doing any public engagements, that you pull people who are scattered out into the center is because people vibe off of the energy of other people. So if they're in close proximity, it changes the energy of the room for you as a speaker. His audio was breaking up. So I did not get the notes. I'm waiting for the audio replay, but that was one of the things that I took away from his session. Also, when you're speaking, never look down at the floor. It means that you're lost and you forgot something. So if you forget something, always look out at the people and take a pause, but never look down at the floor. You've seen me share with you Socially Sorted. Donna Moritz, she's from Australia. I absolutely love her. When what she talked about was basically how do we create content and not be a designer? And I think some of you already have the tool, but in case you don't, I want everyone to go and get a Canva account. She absolutely loves Canva. If you look at one of our previous shows, and I'm writing these websites down for you right now so you can go back into the link to see them, remove.bg. Love remove.bg, where it removes the background. I gave you some alternatives for remove.bg, which would be Canva, which I've already put in a tool, and then another tool called stickermule.com/trace. But you have two of the tools right there below. One of the tools that she stated that we should use, and I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to put this here for you because maybe we can all test it out together, would be, I'm going to call it Splashio, but I'm typing it down below. It is actually a tool that I've looked at the past that I am going to check out. And then Headliner would be another one. Is that headliner.ai.ie? I'm going to put just Headliner in there for you. And so a lot to do with video content and tools that you could use, like Life Lapse, Story Swag, InstaSize, Pixaloop, and then you have Animato, which is an old tool, but they keep on updating it, Wave.video, and Quick, QUICC, were some of the tools that Donna spoke about, but all of her tools are about you looking like a graphic designer without being a graphic designer. So what she says is use templates and don't alter them too much, but those were some of the tools that you could use. Kim Garst talked about repurposing content. What you want to do is you want to work smarter, not harder. You want to create a template. You want to do what I've been telling you to do, and that is to start with live video content. So I don't know if you guys know this, but every Monday I record video. It used to be an hour, now it's 30 minutes. The reason I went from 1 hour to 30 minutes is because when I looked at the analytics behind my podcast, I was getting 100% of the people were getting to 26 minutes. So at 26 minutes, people would start to fall off. Well, in order to boost my analytics, I needed to shorten the time, so it seems like more people get to 100%, which means that the perception is the show is better. So I cut the time to 30 minutes. I then take that video, and I use Zoom to record it. I download it. I then have video, which is MP4, audio, which is MP3, and a text transcription. That then becomes a podcast on iTunes that syndicates to probably 100 different platforms. So that podcast is now on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeart, but it started off as a video. We then do our own audio to text transcription. It becomes a blog post. And it also becomes a weekly email. So some of you receive a weekly email from me. Some of you are listening to Social Selling Made Simple on whatever podcast app that you like to use. But it all came from a video. So Kim Garst and Donna a little bit talked about repurposing that content, but they all start with a live video. Okay, so live video, it should be the center of your content creation. And then you're taking things to aha moments. And you've probably seen some of my posts where I'll do a photo quote of one bullet point. And you post that on Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter. One of the tools that she shared with us that I think that you should try out, it's a brand new tool. And let me say this, we're not seeing as many new tools as we were once seeing, but Descript.com, I just posted it for you. It was one of her great tools that she likes to use. Let me give you another one. Repurpose.io is another one, which I've actually checked out. What else was a good one? Oh, if you're using Apple, and I'm not a Apple girl, you might want to use Apple Clips. When you record a video, it will do the audio to text transcription for you of that video if you do it inside the Apple Clips app, and you can add emojis and things of that nature to it. So that was Kim Garst. I hope that was Kim Garst. Yeah, it was Kim Garst. Okay, whew. I'm like, golly. Then I went into a Instagram session from Alex Beaton. And what Alex stated is, know your audience, check your story reply insights once every 2 weeks. So the analytics on stories in Instagram delete themselves every 14 days. So you need to check what those analytics are every 14 days. Use captions, and here's the thing, everyone who is successful on Instagram stories, they do not post in the moment. They capture the content, they take their time, they decorate the story, and then they repost the story. And so none of these story icons are they posting instantly in the moment. They capture it in the moment, but then they save it to their device and they come back and they repurpose that content. Be creative with your text. So this was a learning lesson to me. If you have 2 sentences, you might break it down into one with highlights, one with no highlights. But you want the script or the text to vary, whether you change in the font, whether you're changing the highlight, whether you're repositioning and angling it. So if you have more than a sentence, change how that text looks on your story. One thing you want to do is also set up collections on Instagram so that you will always have content that you can go back to and post if you have a problem with creating new content. So you can set up actual collections. So do not upload in the moment and leverage the poll feature. So that would be your Instagram stories. And some of this, we're going to come back and break down individual classes. The one thing that probably shocked me was TikTok. So in the TikTok session, initially it was like 100 people sitting there. And then people came in like zombies, like from every area, right? And the room became standing room only. So we went from like 100 people to over 1,000 people in 10 minutes, right? So it's just a mad rush for TikTok. I had stated I wasn't going to use TikTok. However, I've changed my thought process about that. Here's some stats on TikTok. 1 billion active monthly users. 30% are over the age of 30, so that's 300 million. 61 minutes is the average time spent on the app daily. It is the fastest growing app currently. It is the second most downloaded app in 2019. Couple of tricks she said that we should use in the world of real estate. Use hashtag that your ideal customer is using. So you have to do a little research. What she believes we should do, we should record 10 how-to videos. They're going to be 15 seconds or 60 seconds. She considered that evergreen content. So how to increase your FICO score by 100 points in 60 days. Let's say that would be one of them. And then what we have to do, because I was going to say Snapchat, TikTok is not a one-hit wonder. So the sentence that she stated was that consistency is more important than high frequency. What you want to do is come back, if not daily, once a week, and see what's trending, and then create trending content. But you're going to infuse those 10 evergreen pieces, because all of your pieces in TikTok aren't going to get great engagement. Okay. So I've done a TikTok video with J-Man out of New York, and we've had good success with that one TikTok video. I am going to commit time to TikTok, whether I'm using it as an intro video or to get eyes on another piece of content. That's how I want you to think of it. Intro into something else that can be fun. How to effectively market your local business in 2020. That was with a gentleman by the name of Bruce Irvin. And he talked about the Costanza Method. Get to be known for what it is that you do, but it's not a one-hit wonder. You have to continue, and you try different ways. Who are the people who live in your areas? He believed wholeheartedly in Facebook retargeting ads to an area. And he includes Instagram in that retargeting. And his recommendation is to use 12 to 15 hashtags over on Instagram. I then went and took Melanie Diesel's course. If you go down in the post, I gave you a link to the first chapter of her new book. What she talked about is extending the reach, extending the time. You don't need to create more content. You need to do more with the content that you create. So she also talked about repurposing. So I went to 3 repurposing sessions. And the reason I went to 3 repurposing sessions is because as real estate professionals, we did not come in to be social media marketers. So how do we create one piece of content and then repurpose that content into other formats? So I've already wrote a post, but you copy, excerpt, update, reformat, curate, and then multiply. And multiplying means that you can change the time, the demographics, the location, and the resources. So what I did was over the last couple of days, I have numerous posts. So some of these I have more detailed posts. And if any of the speakers gave away a handout or tips and tools, then there are other posts right below that you can go and get that information from, because I have a lot of giveaways from the actual conference just for you. Before I continue to move forward, I'm just checking to see, do you guys have any questions? I'm just checking to see, do you guys have any questions so far? Good morning. Yes, indeed. Blogging remove.bg. So I'm not seeing any questions, but note that you can definitely ask me some questions. Okay. Oh, then I went to the actual founder of Social Media Examiner session, and here's a website, www.becomingwellknown. I want you to read that whole page. www, and I'm going to put it here because this is a great resource, Becoming Well Known. So I believe that I'm well known. I'm considered a influencer in the world of real estate, and I'm pretty well known on the south side of Chicago. So that means that I'm very niched. So I am a real estate influencer, and they would call it micro famous, right? Well, his session talked about that and what you need to do. One, it was about mindset and dreaming big and getting out of your own way. So if you go over to www.becomingwellknown.com, he has a course that he's developing, but he gives you a lot of stories and tips and his thought process over on that website. Okay. If you, as a real estate agent, want to be on podcast, you want to be on the stage, you want to get a book deal, then you would go to this website. And what this will make you is that local influencer. So of course, I'm on podcast, I'm on the stage, book deals, and all kind of other contracts around here. But I want to know what he knows because he's freaking phenomenal. So I went to his session, and you should go over and check out that website. Raise your hand or type yes if you have a Facebook. Oh, look at that big stain. If you have a Facebook group. If not, I'm not going to go over the Facebook groups. I know that Carrie and I have a Facebook group. So Carrie, be on the lookout. We're getting ready to change some things for our Facebook group. I attended the session with Boss Mom. I've actually been on her podcast. She and I are working through a new deal together. I'm working through quite a few new deals. So you're going to see a lot of collaborations come out this year. She has a Facebook group with 48,000 people in that group. And that group has grown substantially in a very short period of time. So you might want to think about coming up with a community group, but you could go over to her group, Boss Mom, check out the engagement that she has. I don't think anyone told me that they had any groups. Let me come over here and see. I'm not seeing anybody here who says, yeah, I got a group, Mark. Yeah, I want more information about a group. Group. Oh, I am seeing Leslie, Paula, and Kim offered. So guess what? I'm going to give you some tips. Actually, I am going to post. I'm going to inbox you guys because I took some pictures. But basically, she has 50,000 members in her group with no ad spend. They are getting about 70% engaged. Oh, her members. So the 50,000 people, 70% of them engage every single month. And because of the influence of the group, 6 people in the group have wrote a book in the past few months that the group got the book to Amazon bestsellers list. So that shows you the power of the group. Either they went and downloaded it on Kindle or they purchased the book, they left a review because these women are in their group. So inside of a group, you have your Facebook group. You need to do what's called permission sandwiches, and you have to ask engaging questions. So when you think about permission sandwiches, you post to get permission to engage. That would kind of sum it up. You also share your clout if you're featured in an article. You provide training. It fills the gaps, those tips. You make recommendations. You ask a series of questions. And then you do things like voting, but she doesn't, you vote in unique ways. So you might do a yes or a heck yeah, right? But the answer is still yes, because then you'll get engagement regardless. And so she had some really interesting tips. And what I will do is I will actually post below the picture of her training. I'm going to have to make a lot of posts below because I took a boatload of photos from the actual events. So each of the trainings I took photos from, and Dana and I are friends anyway. And so, you know what? I am going to now post this one picture inside of the group because this, I believe, will help you with the group. So let me go pull this picture up and post it for you guys on this feed. So do you guys have any questions for me? Any questions at all? No questions? No questions? Any chance you can make us a wee flow chart for repurposing? Yes, I can. So Paula, my girl, Paula, Paula, I want you to meet Kimberly Alford. Kimberly Alford, I want you to meet Paula. Okay, so we're not going to have the conversation on the feed, but I need you two to meet one another. I will make a real estate repurposing chart. I'll make it and I'll have it for you within 7 days. Yeah, because that is, don't worry about it. I'm going to make us one. You need a visual learner, not a problem. And I'll also share some photos below. Will there be a TikTok mini session? Trudy, I will do a TikTok mini session once I engage with TikTok. So I've only done one video and I didn't create that video. Actually, J-Man created the video. And so as soon as I actively engage with it, then I'll be able to tell you how to engage with it. I am committed to 30 days on TikTok just to see how things are going to go and see if I'm getting the type of engagement and people linking back. So I'll let you know, but it'll be about 30 days. Are you going to post this video later? I am in and out. Monica, yes, the video is going to be permanently here so you can come back and watch it again. Can you give a link to more information on repurposing? Yes, I can give a link. Actually, I think I might have wrote a post already, I will tag you in it. So I'm gonna, when we get off this call, I have to hop on another call. So you're gonna have, if I'm gonna ask for permission for 24 hours to come back and give you some of this additional content. Growing daily. I'm glad to hear that, Miss C. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna encourage you guys, if you can, and I think this was a commitment that Carrie and I made to ourselves some years ago. We don't get our social media information from the world of real estate. I think it's watered down. So the reason that I'm probably considered a thought leader is because I leave the world of real estate and I go hang out with the social media nerds to get the information. Now, this was my first time attending Social Media Marketing World, and I'm elated by the opportunity. I feel as though this is my second tribe. So real estate is my first tribe. You know, you all are my boos. I love you. Social media and technology is my second tribe. So I have found my second tribe. I've read Social Media Examiner for years. I did join their society while there. I made some excellent, and I mean excellent, connections while there, for people to be on the podcast, people who I can go back to and have dialogue with and ask questions. Inside of the society, what I will say, I noticed that several of the social media influencers in the world of real estate are also in that society. So I probably should have been hanging out there some time ago. So I joined the society because they had a fabulous deal while we were there. Generally, it's $80 a month. I spent $297 for 1 year membership in the Social Media Examiner Society. So I made another investment to make sure that I am cutting edge, always know what's new, what's going on, and how we can apply that in order to increase our sales. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to look at all the comments. I'm going to make some additional post on this post. If you can, well, one, do not turn off the notifications on this video, because I'm going to post on this video the resources that you asked for. And so you'll start seeing me post within a few minutes of getting off the phone, just back on this post. It will actually be photos. And I'm going to also share the links to any of the previous posts from this group back on this stream. So everything will be in this one video stream. What I would encourage you to do is right now, type in one thing you want to learn. And I will, this is a bonus, I will come back and I will actually do a live training on that in this group. So if it was repurposing content, and I already know I have to create an infographic for Paula, put down repurposing content and I can walk you through those step by step. If it's creating a video for the first time, if it's Instagram stories, if it's IGTV, we didn't even talk about LinkedIn, and actually they didn't even have any sessions on LinkedIn, but I am a LinkedIn power user, so if it's LinkedIn, type that in. I'm going to take a look at what you posted, and we will come back and I will do another morning training, start to finish, only here on that subject based on what is wanted the most. Guys, I thank you and I appreciate you for being on the journey with me to Social Media Marketing World. I had a blast. I encourage you to attend in the future if you want social media and technology on steroids. I want you to know I was overwhelmed. So I think you might be overwhelmed too. I've never been to a conference this engaging before in my life. There was a live DJ when we got there. Fabulous. They were walking around with signs talking about smile, you're the bomb. Everyone was there to help you. They had an app called the Hova app where we were doing meetups. So there was a meetup. There were meetups every hour on the hour. So I'm networking before session, during sessions, after sessions. We're inboxing one another. So the engagement was on steroids. And so it was a wonderful experience. So I'm going to come back and do everything I told you I was going to do. But let me know what you need in order to grow in 2020. We're not going to wait any longer. Okay. The average age of a realtor is 54. I'll be 50 this year. And I think 50 is dynamite. The best year. Well, look, best year to date. Oh, change your language. My new language is this is the best year to date because I have more great years to come. Okay. So a lot of us will say, best year ever. No, best year to date because we're going to create more great experiences. I'll see you on the internet, guys. Talk with you soon.